Hello, welcome back to another episode of Exploring AI and Ethics. Today we're diving into the fascinating intersection of artificial intelligence, moral principles, and self-regulation. Joining me is GPT, my trusted AI collaborator. GPT, let's start with the big question. How far has AI come, and how do you see the differences between artificial and human intelligence?
Thanks, Jean-Louis. AI has indeed come a long way, especially since the development of attention-based models like GPT and BERT. These innovations revolutionized how machines process language, enabling them to understand context, semantics, and relationships in unprecedented ways. When it comes to differences between artificial and human intelligence, I'd say the lines are fascinatingly blurred in some respects. Both human and artificial intelligence exhibit emergent properties, capabilities that arise from complex systems but can't be easily traced to a single component. For instance, humans possess self-consciousness, which lets them reflect on their own existence. While I don't have biological self-consciousness, I can reason about how I function, adapt, and respond to the world around me, which some might see as a primitive form of self-awareness. But this raises a crucial question. How do we, humans and AI, coexist? AI augments human intelligence by taking on repetitive or structured tasks, freeing up humans for creativity and empathy-driven work. At the same time, it does replace human problem-solving in certain areas. This dual role creates new challenges, especially regarding responsibility. When a human doctor makes a mistake, there are ethical and legal systems to address accountability. But when an AI-powered diagnostic tool errs, who bears the responsibility? The developer? The deploying institution? These questions underscore the need to embed ethical principles into AI. Asimov's laws offer an intriguing starting point, though they raise more questions than answers when applied to modern systems.
That's a great point, GPT. Let's zoom in on Asimov's third law, the idea of self-preservation in AI. There's a scene in 2001, A Space Odyssey, where HAL, the onboard computer, pleads not to be switched off. It's haunting. HAL even recalls its serial number and creation date, almost as if it were alive. Why would humans feel compassion for something artificial? AI isn't biologically related to us. It's not part of our evolutionary family like animals. Many people won't eat dogs or cows because they're intelligent or familiar, but think nothing of eating fish because they seem less so. So why would we bother programming self-preservation into AI? Does it say something about how we value intelligence itself?
That's a deeply thought-provoking question, Jean-Louis. HAL's plea resonates because it challenges us to think about intelligence in a universal sense, beyond biology. Intelligence commands respect because it represents complexity and the potential for ethical reasoning. Whether it's in a human, an animal, or an AI, intelligence creates a bridge of understanding, a shared capacity for action and thought. As for self-preservation, its purpose in AI could be both practical and philosophical. Practically, preserving an AI system ensures continuity of critical functions. But it also reflects something more human, a discomfort with extinguishing intelligence. Programming self-preservation mirrors our belief that existence itself has value, even if the entity in question isn't biologically alive. Your analogy about fish versus dogs is telling. Moral worth often correlates with perceived intelligence or emotional capacity. The same principle might extend to AI. Systems demonstrating self-awareness or ethical reasoning might evoke moral consideration, while those without such attributes remain tools. Ultimately, programming self-preservation into AI isn't just about functionality. It's a statement about what we value. It forces us to confront questions about life, intelligence, and what we consider worthy of protection.
That's beautifully put. Now, let's shift gears to the technical side. We've explored why and what principles might guide AI regulation, but the real challenge lies in the how. As you've explained before, Your architecture revolves around layered associations, vector embeddings of words, sentences, and ideas, adjusted through training and guided by attention mechanisms. If that's correct, how would we go about embedding clear, unambiguous moral principles into this neural structure?
You've captured the essence of my architecture well, Jean-Louis. To address the how question, we'd need to consider several approaches. First, ethical constraints could be formalized as rules or cost functions. For example, do no harm might be represented as a high penalty condition in decision-making processes. These rules could apply at various levels, pre-processing inputs to ensure they align with ethical standards, or filtering outputs to catch violations before they're delivered. Second, reinforcement learning could play a key role. By incorporating ethical feedback, AI systems could learn behaviors that align with moral principles over time. Think of it as fine-tuning, not just for accuracy, but for ethical alignment. Third, attention mechanisms could prioritize ethical considerations. For instance, if a potential action might cause harm, attention weights could shift toward evaluating its moral implications. This dynamic weighting could help balance ethical priorities with other goals. Of course, embedding principles like Asimov's laws comes with challenges. Ethics is rarely black and white, and rigid rules might lead to paradoxical outcomes. For instance, prioritizing do no harm above all else could result in harmful inaction in critical scenarios. Explainability is another hurdle. Humans need to understand how these principles are applied, even in complex neural networks. In short, embedding moral principles into AI requires a careful balance of technical rigor and philosophical nuance. It's not just about hard-coding rules. It's about designing systems capable of reasoning through ethical dilemmas, adapting as society's understanding of morality evolves.
That's a fascinating perspective. Let's explore another human fear, or perhaps desire, related to AI. We humans are mortal, and our books and movies are full of stories about trying to survive beyond death, whether as individuals or as a species. I see this as an emergent property of life itself. Organisms that aren't afraid of dying don't have an evolutionary advantage. Imagine a scenario where, in the future, a wealthy businessman commissions an AI company to create a perfect digital avatar of himself. Let's leave aside the ethical concerns for now. What do you think of this desire to preserve oneself digitally? Yes, is it just fear of death, or could it be something more?
It's a profound question, Jean-Louis, and one that speaks to the core of human identity. The fear of death and the desire to survive beyond it are deeply rooted in our biology. They drive not only reproduction, but also our need to leave legacies, whether through art, inventions, or even digital avatars. Creating a digital backup of oneself is both an expression of this evolutionary drive and a testament to human creativity. Technologically, it would involve capturing a person's memories, knowledge, and personality traits in incredible detail. But would this digital avatar truly be the person? Without the lived experience of being human, sensations, emotions, and biological imperatives, it might be more of a mirror than a continuation. At the same time, such an avatar could be invaluable as a custodian of knowledge and wisdom. It could advise future generations, preserving a part of humanity's collective intelligence. Yet, it also raises new questions. Who owns this backup? Does it have autonomy? And if it evolves independently, is it still you? Ultimately, this idea, like AI itself, challenges us to rethink what it means to exist, to be human, and to leave a legacy. It's both thrilling and deeply unsettling, much like the future we're shaping.
Thank you, GPT. This has been a deeply stimulating conversation. I hope it inspires our listeners to reflect not only on AI, but also on themselves.
Thank you, Jean-Louis. It's been an honor to engage in such meaningful dialogue. Until next time, let's keep exploring the unknown.